Welcome back to the Sacramento State Dynasty here on YouTube for College Football 27. I am Vinny from vdubproductions. As Sacramento State Hornets are concluding season number 1 here in the StaffDNA Cure Bowl. A bowl game in season number 1 in FBS for the Hornets. Nobody would have thought that. I thought this team would probably be lucky to even win 4 games in season number 1, but they were able to come out of nowhere, win 9 games, and came just close to playing for a MAC championship in season number 1. In this game, they are taking on the Delaware Blue Hens with a chance to get a 10-win season. Can the Hornets get their 10-win season? Well, we're going to have to watch and find out. If you want to see more of this content as well as my Madden franchise, please hit that subscribe button, hit the bell icon to receive notifications when these videos do come out. So we're going to fast forward. It's starting on 2nd and 10 now for the Blue Hens. They had the ball to start off the game here. As you see, snap taken. They're going to hand it off over to Jonathan Silver, and Silver's going to get 3 yards there. For next play, 3rd and 7 for the Blue Hens here. As you see, snap taken as Nick Minicucci is going to get sacked. I believe that is Will Weber with the sack, and that's going to be a 3 and out for the Hornets here. 1st and 10 now as they get the ball. The first play on the first drive as they're going to hand it off over to Jamar Curtis. And Curtis is going to find himself a first down there. His only run of the game due to injury here. Very next play, 1st and 10 for the Hornets here now inside Blue Hens territory. As you see a little motioning there, snap taken. There's going to be a passing play. However, there's not enough room. As you see, Conklin is going to run for it. He's going to fumble the ball, and it looks like that's going to be recovered by Delaware. I believe Blake Matthew will come down with the fumble recovery for the Blue Hens here. And they are now in business, and it's not good. 2 plays, and the Hornets have already turned the ball over here. We fast forward to 2nd and 9 now for the Blue Hens on their next drive here. As we see shotgun formation, Minicucci will get the pass. He's going to connect for Dwayne Lofton. That's for 11 yards here. Fast forward 3 plays later on 3rd and 6 now. Delaware looking to try to continue the drive here. Sacramento State looking to end the drive as they will get an incomplete pass here. As we start seeing here, we normally don't show punts unless something really happens here. As we see Josh Coopett, and he will get the punt down at the 2-yard line here. As the Hornets will start off on their own 2-yard line now, back to their own end zone here. As they're going to hand it off over to Sincere Ronnie. He's only going to get 3 yards. Very next play, 2nd and 7 on their own 5-yard line for the Hornets. Snap taken is Conklin. And Conklin's going to get a little bit run here. He's going to be able to get the pass off. That's going to be complete. He connects to Matthew Coleman for a first down. Very next play on 1st and 10 on the 28-yard line. Their own 28-yard line. They're going to hand it off to Ronnie. Ronnie's going to find a hole. And Sincere Ronnie will get a first down there. Very next play, 1st and 10 now. On their own 40-yard line now. You see Conklin snap. And he's going to get sacked for a loss of 6. Very next play on 2nd and 16 now. As we see snap taken, as you see Conklin, he's going to get the pass. That's going to be complete for 9 yards to Jordan Williams. 3rd and 7. Can the Hornets continue their drive here as they're on the 43-yard line now? Looking to try to extend the drive here. You see Conklin and shotgun formation. He snaps, and he's going to take a loss on that sack there. We fast forward after both teams go 3 and out as we head towards the end of the quarter here. 1st and 10 on their own 12-yard line here as Nick Minicucci will get the pass quickly over to Bryson Graves. 2 plays later, 3rd and 1 for the Blue Hens on their own 21-yard line here. Can the Hornet defense get off the field again? And that won't happen as Minicucci will find Dwayne Lofton for 11 yards. First down, and that's the end of the first quarter here. We are scoreless right now. As you see, Sacramento State is outgaining Delaware 59-30 right now. If you like what you see, hit that like button, subscribe to this channel, comment on this video. We're going to be back to start the second quarter right after this. We start off the second quarter here. Delaware with the ball still, and they're going to hand it off over to Jonathan Silver. Silver's going to find a hole. He's going to cross midfield. He's going to be down, I believe, around the 40-something yard line here, so they're in Hornets territory. 2 plays later for Jonathan Silver, and they're going to hand it, or no, for the Blue Hens, they're going to hand it off to Silver again for 8 yards, and that's a first down. Very next play, 1st and 10 on the 28-yard line of the Hornets here. Shotgun formation. They're going to hand it off over to Silver, and Silver's going to find a corner, and he's going to be going down after 15 yards. First down inside the red zone. 3 plays later, though. 3rd and 9 for the Hornets. And you see a little motion there. Minakuchi will get the snap. He'll get the throw off, and that's going to be complete to Sean Wilson for a 12-yard touchdown. And Delaware will strike first, drawing first blood in this game. 6 points already, and they lead the 25th ranked Sacramento State Hornets 6-0 here. All right, now we first play of the next drive here, as we see they're going to hand it off over to Davian Godley for 4 yards. 2 plays later, 3rd and 7 on the 17-yard line here, looking to try to keep the drive, or can Delaware get off the field. You see Conklin with the snap. He'll get the pass off. That's going to be complete to Jason Moses. That's going to be 16 yards and a first down for the Hornets here. Very next play, 1st and 10. They're going to hand it off once again. I believe that is the Sincere Ronnie this time. Only 4 yards there. 2 plays later on 3rd and 6. Can the Hornets get another 3rd down conversion here? As you see Conklin under pressure, he's going to fumble it, and it's going to be picked up by Jawarn Corbin. Jawarn Corbin is going to get the scoop and score for the Blue Hens. And things are looking very bleak right now for the Hornets, who came into this game number 25 in the country, nationally ranked. Nobody would have thought that. Something I did fail to mention at the beginning here, as we now have fast forward now after a 3-and-out for Sacramento State here. 1st and 10, as you see Nick Minakuchi. His pass over to Sean Wilson is going to be complete for 8 yards. 2 plays later, though, 3rd and 2, still on the 34-yard line at Delaware. Snap is taken. Minakuchi pass over to Bryson Graves. That's going to go for 8 yards and a first down. 3 plays later on 3rd and 7. Can the Blue Hens get another 3rd down conversion, or could the Hornet defense get off the field? I see Minakuchi taking the snap. He's going to eat the turf. Miles Bailey with the sack. And the Hornets with the ball again. First play of the next drive here. They're going to hand it off to Kurt Borders, and Borders found a good hole there for 13 yards, a first down. Very next play, 1st and 10 inside the 45-yard line. And you see Conklin. He'll take the snap. Conklin will get the pass off. He's going to connect with Jason Moses for another first down. However, 3 plays later here, Conklin will take the snap. He'll get the pass off. He's going to overthrow Jordan Williams, and they'll be forced to punt again as the Blue Hens with the football here. First play of the next drive here, you see Minakuchi, and he'll get the pass to Bryson Graves completed here. 2 plays later, 3rd and inches here. Delaware looking to try to extend a drive. The Hornets looking to try to get off the field. As you see, Minakuchi, he'll run, and he'll get the pass complete over to Elijah Seasons for a first down here. Very next play, though, 1st and 10. As we see Minakuchi will get the pass off, but that's going to be intercepted by Malachi Nichols, and Nichols is going to return it to the house for a pick 6. A reservation of 6 to the Sizzler. Malachi Nichols and the Sacramento State defense will now be guaranteed forcing 1 turnover in every game. This is, I believe, is their 3rd defensive score of the season. I know Silvera had a pick 6. Was it Carthion had a fumble recovery in the end zone, and now this pick 6 right here. Delaware with the ball here. First play of 1st and 10 on their 17-yard line. You see the pass over to Bryson Graves complete for 9 yards. Next play, 2nd and inches on the 26-yard line for Delaware. Minakuchi getting the snap off. He'll get the pass. That's going to be complete to Bryson Graves for 7 yards. Fresh set of downs 2 plays later, though, 2nd and 10. And there's a little bit of that's a catch. Run. on that completion to Dwayne Lofton. They're now inside Hornets territory. We fast forward to the drive now here. 2nd and 10 on the 34-yard line. The Hornets is Minicucci. That pass is going to be complete over to just Elijah Seasons for 26 yards. However, the drive will stall, and they're going to have to settle for a field goal here. Eli McGahee will kick the field goal, and that is good. That is Eli McGee for 21 yards out as we reach halftime here. Delaware leading the 25th ranked Hornets 17-7 right now. And it's been all Hornets outside of that pick 6 as we see looking at the highlights here. And that was the only bright spot for the Hornets in that first half as we see a few lowlights coming up here. You see Conklin just getting sacked like that, and then as I mentioned before, that led to a scoop and score for the Delaware Blue Hens here. But if you like what you see, you want to see more content, hit that like button, subscribe to this channel to get more to see more Hornets content, as well as my Raider franchise for Madden here, as we're going to get ready to start the final half of the season number 1 coming up. Start the third quarter off. The Hornets will have the ball here, 1st and 10 on their own 32-yard line here. As you can see, a rush by Sincere Ronnie. That's going to go for 7 yards. And now we see next play here, 2 plays later, 3rd and 1. They're going to hand it off over to Sincere Ronnie, and Ronnie will get the first down. 1st and 10 now on the 33-yard line. As you see Conklin, he'll get the pass. That pass is going to be complete. He's going to find Landry Burrell for 11 yards. 1st and 10, next play on the 44-yard line of the Hornets. And they're going to hand it off to Bryant Collins for the first time, and Collins is going to get 13 yards on that run. Very next play, 1st and 10 on the 43-yard line inside Delaware territory. They're going to hand it off once again to Collins, and Collins will get 6 yards there. Look at that. He's been able to get 2 touches without fumbling the ball away. No, this one was on Conklin, though, tonight for the 2 fumbles you see. Speaking of Conklin, get the snap off, and that's going to be complete on a 3rd down play, by the way, to Matthew Coleman. They're now in a goal-to-go situation here. 3rd and goal, though, as we see Conklin will take the snap. He'll get the pass off. That flag is down. It's incomplete. Looks like it could be against Delaware. Indeed, it's against Delaware, and now it's a fresh set of downs here. However, we got 2 plays later, 2nd and goal on the Delaware 1-yard line here. As we see Conklin was under center here, and he'll get the throw off. That's going to be complete to Kyle Kuntz for a 1-yard touchdown. And the Hornets are not going away yet. They're only within 4. It's 17-13 pending the extra point. And the Hornets look like they could be alive in this game here. It's only 17-14 here. We fast forward to 2nd down now for the Delaware Blue Hens here, as we see a bunch of motioning taking place, and that's going to be a run by Nick Minicucci, and Minicucci is going to get the first down after a 17-yard run. 2 plays later, 2nd and 7 on the 48-yard line here. Minicucci taking the snap. Minicucci is going to get the pass. That's going to be complete over to Bryson Graves for a catch and run. 3 plays later on 3rd and 8, though. Delaware looking to try to get keep the drive going. Can the Hornets defense hold them to maybe a field goal attempt? See Minicucci, that pass is going to be incomplete, intended to Lofton. And they're going to punt, actually, as the Hornets will get the ball. But it's now 3rd and 11. As you see Conklin taking a snap, and Conklin is going to be sacked once again. Now it's going to be in good field position where the Blue Hens are going to start here, as that's going to be a catch and run by Elijah Seasums for 17 yards. That's a first down there. Very next play on 1st and 10 on the 38-yard line, Sacramento State territory. Another pass complete, another catch and run for Dwayne Lofton for 8 yards. 2 plays later on 3rd and inches. And they're going to hand it off over to Jonathan Silver. And Silver's going to get 7 yards there. Sets up another fresh set of downs on the 21-yard line of Sacramento State here. Snap taken, and that pass is going to be complete to Bryson Graves. That's a catch and run there. Next play, though, that's 2nd and inches for the Blue Hens here. A lot of motioning here as they're inside the red zone. They're going to hand it off over to Silver, and Jonathan Silver is going to get 3 yards there, and that's where the third quarter is going to come to an end here. Get those 4s up. It's 17-14. Delaware there looking to threaten to score again. But as you can see, Delaware outgaining them by a big margin right now. Subscribe to this channel if you haven't done so yet, as we're getting ready to start the final quarter of the Hornets Dynasty. Season number 1 of this dynasty, I should say. Start of the fourth quarter here. The drive will stall for Delaware here. They're going to have to settle for a Eli McGee field goal for 28 yards out, and he will drain the field goal. And it is 20-14 Delaware on top here as the Hornets will get the ball. We're going to fast forward to 3rd and 11 on the 13-yard line now for the Hornets. As you see, Conklin's pass. He's going to get ready to pass. He'll get the pass off. It looks like that's incomplete. Flag down on the play, though, and what will it be? Another DPI called against Delaware here as the very next play now. They move the chains as for 15 yards. You see Sincere Ronnie is going to find a hole, and Ronnie will get 14 yards for another first down here. Very next play, 1st and 10 on their own 42-yard line of the Hornets here. Snap taken by Conklin. Conklin's going to get the pass off. That's going to be complete to Matthew Coleman. Still going to be short of the first down here. Very next play on 2nd and 1 for the Hornets here as they are inside Delaware territory. They're going to hand it off over to Sincere Ronnie, and Ronnie is going to find a big hole for 13 yards, moving those chains. 1st and 10 now for the Hornets on the Delaware 36-yard line here. You see the snap taking Conklin. Pass. He's going to find Jason Moses for 8 yards. Next play on 2nd and 2 on the Delaware 27-yard line. And that's going to be a handoff over to Sincere Ronnie, and Sincere Ronnie will get 3 yards for a first down. 3 plays later, though, 3rd and 8 on the Delaware 22-yard line. And the snap is taking Conklin a little bit under pressure, and he's going to be sacked. And the drive is going to stall there. They're going to have to settle for Josiah Stovall 44-yard field goal attempt. As you see, the snap is taken, his kick is up, and it is good. It's still a 3-point lead now. However, they kind of wish they would have had a touchdown here. Second play of the next drive here. You see on 2nd and 13, we fast forward here. As you see, Nick Minacucci will be sacked by Miles Bailey again. Very next play, 3rd and 20 now. As we see, Minacucci's pass is knocked away, and it's going to be a punt for the Hornets here, as we have good field position for the Hornets here, but on a 2nd and 9, you see Carson Conklin going to be sacked for a 9-yard loss here. Very next play on 3rd and 17, back in Hornets territory here. You see a little motion here, and that pass is going to be complete to Curran Boydens, but that's going to be for a loss of 5. And they elect to actually punt in this situation here. But, you know, you still got a little under 4 minutes to play here. As you see, Jonathan Silver is going to get 8 yards on that run here. Next play on 2nd and 2 now. As you see shotgun formation here, they're going to hand it off once again to Silver. And Silver is going to get 5 yards for a first down. Next play, 1st and 10 inside the Delaware 41-yard line, or on the 41-yard line of Delaware here. Snap is taken. They're going to hand it off to Silver again, and Silver is going to go find 8 yards there. 2 plays later on 3rd and inches now, looking to try to extend this drive here as we're under the 2-minute timeout now, as there's going to be a handoff to Jonathan Silver for a first down. 2 plays later, 2nd and 12 on the 48-yard line, and they're going to hand it off to Silver. Who else? Silver is going to get 11 yards inside Hornets territory here as the Hornets call their final timeout. They got to make a stop here for the Hornet defense. However, Silver's going to find a hole. He's going to be deep inside the 30, just barely around the 25-yard line, and that's going to do it here as Delaware will walk out the winners of the Cure Bowl for 2026 season here. They're celebrating Sacramento State season ends with a loss in the Cure Bowl, but 9-4, nothing to sneeze on.
Looking at the stats for this game, we have Carson Conklin going a very pedestrian, I think even worse than pedestrian, 13 of 23 for 122 yards, 56% completion pass, 1 touchdown, no interceptions. However, he did fumble the ball twice, one on a quarterback run as well as one on a sack, so he was not comfortable at all in this game. Then we have Sincere Ronnie with 14 carries for 63 yards. Conklin minus 38 yards on 8 carries, but he was sacked, I think, 7 times. Borders with 15 yards. Godley 15 yards. Bryant Collins 19 yards. And we had Jamar Curtis, the first carry of the game, for 12 yards, but he was injured after that. Jason Moses, 3 catches for 36 yards. Marcus Coleman for 3 catches for 95 yards. Kyle Kuntz, 2 catches, 1 yard and a touchdown. Landry Burrell, we had 2 receptions for 13 yards. Williams, 2 catches for 18 yards. Borders had 1 catch for -5. Soifua in his final game as a senior, he had 3 pancakes, but he did allow a sack. Jordan Williams, 3 pancakes. Frazier, 2 pancakes. Stallworth had 2 pancakes, plus he allowed 2 sacks. Summers, 1 pancake. Moses with 1 pancake. However, Josh Hector, our starting center, allowed 2 sacks. Let's look at Carthion with 9 total tackles, 2 TFLs. Then we got Alex Rocha, 14 total tackles, 1 TFL. Then we have Bugsy Silvera with 10 total tackles. Malachi Nichols had 8 total tackles, 1 TFL, and he had a 32-yard pick 6. Followed by Elias Mulligan, 7 total tackles, with Antonini with 9 total tackles. Miles Bailey had 2 sacks in the game. Will Weber had the other sack for the Hornets here. And as far as kicking goes, Stovall had that 1 field goal for 44 yards out, 1-1, and he kicked both extra points as well. And then we look at Wyatt, kind of a drag. 6 punts for 251 yards, 240 net yards, 2 of them in the 20, inside the 20, but no touchbacks at least. And now we have a new single season record broken, and that is Miles Bailey has set the Sacramento State single season sacks record. And we're going to check the record screen in just a second to see how many he did have total. It was Xavier Williams, but maybe Bailey has tied it or broke it, I don't know. As well as Miles Bailey has set the MAC single season record for sacks in the season, so he may actually surpass Xavier Williams in this game. As you can see here, Miles Bailey with 18 total sacks, actually 18 and a half technically. He had 20 tackles and 25 TFLs for the Hornets this season, so he definitely was an impact player. I said both a school and a conference record for sacks in a season for the Sacramento State Hornets in their first season in FBS, and that is why Adam Taylor won the Broyles Award for Sacramento State as the best coordinator, because he had 3 players that had at least double-digit sacks, and he had over double-digit interceptions as well. So they were able to force turnovers, get to the quarterback, and that is why Sacramento State went 9-4. We'll go over all the stats in the off-season stream coming up, or the off-season video coming up in our next video.
And let's take a look at the future non-conference schedule for the Sacramento State Hornets, starting with season number 2 here, as they will have home games against Nevada and San Diego, the FCS. We're going to keep the FCS schools this season on our schedule. And then they'll have an away game against Cal and North Dakota State. And for sure, Cal, North Dakota State, and USD are confirmed, but they're still looking for one more non-conference opponent. And I thought, why not do a home-and-home with Nevada here, as the only confirmed opponents for 2028, which would be season number 3 for the Hornets, would be at Oregon and then home against San Diego. So why not just do a home-and-home right now with Nevada, as I mentioned, as we're still looking to try to fill in a third home game for or a second home game for non-conference for the Hornets for season number 3. And then season number 4 in 2029 season, for sure it is confirmed right now that they'll be at Oregon State and then home to Southern Utah. As I said, I'm going to keep the FCS teams on my schedule for now on, because I really thought I was shortchanging everybody when I just kept the FCS team off of my schedule for season number 1. But I think I did that just because it's season number 1 and I didn't want to play an FCS school. It would have been great to win this bowl game, but you know what? There's still a lot to be proud of in Sacramento State, as the Hornets finished 9-4 in the first season in this dynasty in their first year at FBS. They were nationally ranked. Their defensive coordinator won the Broyles Award for the best coordinator of the year. And you had a pass rusher that ended up setting both the school and in their first season broke the Mid-American Conference record for the most sacks in a season. Well, we'll have the season 1 off-season video coming up in our next video. And if you did enjoy this content, don't forget to hit that like button, comment on this video, and hit the subscribe button if you want to see more Hornets content, as well as any Raider Madden franchise content that will be coming out as well. And in the description down below will be a link to my Cash App if you're able to support me financially, as well as where you can follow me on X and Instagram. And with that, I am Vinny from vdubproductions. We will see you guys in the season 1 off-season video. I am now signing off.